Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Jubilee Circle. We're so glad to have you here, both in the room and out there, joining us live from your living room or wherever you are this morning. Thank you for joining us. All right. We ready? One.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not sure how.
Prelude 1.
That song.
One, lean on me.
Oh.
Hands. One is first.
Uno.
Somebody save me from this band. Somebody save me from this
Normally
band.
do that before you leave the stage. We forgot.
I know, they walk off the stage and they forget everything they have rehearsed this morning. What day is this? What's my name? Where am I? Who are you people?
Why am I here?
You see what you miss when you just watch us on TV? All right, here we go. We got it now? Are we there?
Yeah, just got to start.
2, 3, 4. Is it getting better? Do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on you now? You got someone to blame. You say one love, one life, when it's one need in a night. One love, we get to share it. It leaves you, baby, if you don't care for it. Did I disappoint you? Or leave a bad taste in your mouth? You act like you never had love, and you want me to go without. Well, it's too late tonight to drag the past out into the light. We're one, yes, we're all the same. We get to carry each other, carry each other. Whoa. Have you come here for forgiveness? Have you come to raise the dead? Have you come here to play Jesus to the lepers in your head? Did I ask too much, more than a lot? You gave me something, now it's all I got. We're one, yes, we're all the same. We get to carry each other and we do it again. You say love is a temple, love a higher law. Love is a temple, love the higher law. You ask me to enter, but then you make me crawl. And I can't be holding on to what you got, when all you got is hurt. One love, one love, one life. You got to do what you should. One life with each other, sisters, brothers. One life, yes, we're all the same. We get to carry each other, carry each other. Clark, everybody. Playing the edge this morning. The role of the edge this morning will be played by. All right, and if you're watching us out there on the YouTube, you can go to jubileecircle.com and you will find our bulletin and you can follow along. We'll have all the readings and lyrics and everything for you. So welcome again today to Jubilee Circle. We are continuing our VIA Positiva theme of, the humanity, and we're trying to redeem that phrase into sort of more of a, the humanity. So we're talking about our commonalities as human beings and the original blessing that we all carry. Harvey Cox was a professor at Harvard Divinity School from 1965 to 2009. And among his many publications are books called How to Read the Bible, The Secular City, The Feast of Fools, The Rise of Pentecostal Spirituality, and When Jesus Came to Harvard. I'm sure that was a day. Social activist, radical intellectual, ecumenist, and reformer, Harvey Cox was widely recognized by conservatives and liberals as an admired public interpreter of Christianity. He was one of the biggest proponents of something called liberation theology, and that is a movement that was born in Latin America, which secularized the sacred and taught that it was the Christian's job not to worship and pray, but to create a better world in the social, political, and economic arenas. One of Cox's most famous quotes is, "Not to decide is to decide. Not to decide is to decide." And it is hung as wall prints and posters in college dorms, coffee houses, and liberal Christian churches across the U.S. during the 60s and the 70s. And it echoes Martin Luther King Jr.'s words, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." It's a loud and clear reminder that no matter what you do and no matter what you don't do, you're making a difference in the world. Our hands may be small, but they need to be in service to those around us whenever possible. Not to decide is to decide. That's close to the quote from A Course in Miracles that says, "All thought creates form on some level." So we need to be careful how we think in the world, how we think about the world, how we think about ourselves and others. If we want a world where everyone serves one another, then we have to think thoughts that will create a heart and mind of service within ourselves. And then we'll find others doing the same. And that makes the whole world say, "Oh yeah." Please rise. And at every Jubilee Circle celebration, we begin in a similar way. We remember the elements, the air and the water and the earth and the fire, and we burn black sage as a reminder that this is a sacred time and sacred space, and to set our intentions, not just for ourselves, but for the world, and hopefully that is an intention of love, an intention of service, an intention of generosity, giving, and gratitude. And as we mark this sacred time and space, we orient ourselves by calling the four directions. I invite you to turn and face the east. Holy One, open our eyes to this holy church of the earth that we inhabit. Let us find new ways to love all of your creation, from the smallest creature to the largest tree, from the tiniest child to the oldest of our elders, from the smallest mound of dirt to the largest mountain. Teach us, Holy One, to honor all of this magnificent life that has been created around us. Quarter turn to the right and we face the south. Holy One, we thank you for the seasons of this life, the heat of the summer, the coolness of the fall, the chill of winter, the thaw of spring. Help us to appreciate the seasons of our earth, but also to appreciate the seasons of our lives as things come and go, freeze and thaw, ebb and flow. Help us, Holy One, to be grateful for all of it. Quarter turn to the right, we face the west. Holy One, you make the sun to rise and set on both the evil and the good. Your love knows no barriers. It knows no bounds. We ask, Holy One, look upon our soul this day and help us to see ourselves as you see us, and also to see others as you see them, because we are all beloved and innocent. Quarter turn to the right, we face the north. Our ancestors believed in a literal heaven above, a true north where the holy resides. Holy One, reveal to us the heaven that runs in, through, and around us at all times. And reveal to us new ways to bring that heaven to earth for ourselves and others. Let our lives be for others a preview of your love here on earth as it is in heaven. And as we turn back toward the center, have a look around at all the beautiful souls that are here, descended to earth right in this very moment. We are images of the holy. We contain that seed of eternity, that divinity within each of us. And it returns to unity within the holy when our time here in the flesh is done. So I invite you in this moment and every moment to cultivate that seed of eternity that is within yourself. Nurture that seed in others as we grow this Jubilee Circle community, because it is through that love and care for ourselves and others that we learn truly how to say, oh yeah. All right. Remain standing. We're going to sing a little bit of Bill Withers, a classic this morning, reminding us that we are here for one another. That is our purpose in this world. Everybody together, let's see. Sometimes in our lives, and greet one another, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you don't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Come on, you just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me if you need a friend. Come on and just call me if you need a friend. Come on and call me if you need a friend. Come on and just call me. Call me. Oh yeah. 87653 what? 8675309.
The new number is 988.
It's on the bathroom wall,
Isn't
y'all.
that the new number?
Yeah, that's the new number.
Is 988.
Oh yes. Oh.
Yeah.
that's the new mental health number,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's the suicide prevention hotline nationwide.
Yes. You're buzzing.
What?
I think it's you buzzing.
Well,
Something's buzzing over there.
just having a good time.
We got a buzz over here.
We all have a buzz.
It went away.
Oh, it went away. All right. Oh, well, that was the shortest buzz ever. Oh, well. I'm a buzz. Oh. I've been accused of being a buzzkill before. I'm sure it will happen again. What? I'm sorry, what was that? Two. Oh, all right.
2 wives ago.
2 wives. Oh, for you, 2 wives ago. All right.
I was a buzzkill.
See what you miss at Jubilee Circle when you don't show up in person. We are an inclusive, progressive, interfaith community in Columbia, South Carolina. We got the jokes, too. We teach the timeless common wisdom of love and unity that you find in all of the mainstream religions, metaphysical philosophies, mysticism, inspired secular and religious writers and teachers throughout the ages. We put them all in one place here. And we use popular music, teaching, weekly celebrations, educational and artistic events, and other community building activities, because we're trying to create a space here for everyone to experience transformation so then they can go out and be that transformation in the world. And we believe we're here to expand our souls, to find a deeper meaning to life, renew our commitment to love and peace and justice, and learn how to love wastefully and undergo a transformation from the inside out so complete that we just naturally, every day in every way, step into that higher divine self and live from that place. We also recognize we're part of God's good creation. We are formed from the stars as well as in love and in joy, but we forget that. We believe you're over there and I'm over here, and you're going to live in your separate life and I'm going to live in my separate life, and never the twain shall meet. And we think this is a world of paradox, and so we start judging. You're beautiful, you're ugly, you're good, you're bad, you're generous, you're stingy, you're loving, you're recalcitrant. What's
Was
the
a
word?
word?
What's the word, Bruce?
I thought overbearing was a good
Overbearing,
word
yeah,
from last week.
Yeah.
Was it?
I still like obstreperous.
Obstreperous that's really extreme.
That's a good
you know.
one. But let us remember our real function here, Jubilants. It is to remember who we truly are. It is to remember that original blessing. It is to remember our innocence. And in that remembering, we remember it for the whole world, because everyone in this world is us, because we are all an extension of God. And that's something that should make us all say, oh, yeah. All right. So we got a few things coming up. August, you know, it's the dog days of summer, although my dogs disagree. They're like, no, we're not going out there. So we've got some things cranking up in September. I've got one thing in August that might happen, so we'll see what's going on. But we are going to continue our VIA Positiva theme of the humanity. Next week, we're going to talk about, I didn't write in the right one. Who's got a bulletin? That's it. Yes. Music from Dobie Gray as we learn about humanity's song. So we're going to sing a song, and we're not doing that one. We're not doing that song.
You could do it as prelude.
No, we're not. Or, yeah, before anybody gets here, yes. Yeah, right. And now everybody's going to kill me with that song. Okay. This Friday, and again, I still haven't asked the band if they can be here this Friday. Hey, can y'all be here next Friday?
I think so.
All right, good. Because we're going to be part of the Atlantic Institute's Tour of Faiths program. We're going to start at 6:30 with a potluck. So bring some side dishes. Julie and I will cover the main course. But bring some sides, bring some whatever you want to drink, and some desserts and stuff. And we're going to have a potluck starting at 6:30. And we're going to have visitors both in person and through Zoom. The Atlantic Institute is setting up a Zoom. And so we're going to introduce people to Jubilee Circle. We're going to tell them a little bit about our history, about whatever it is we believe, and maybe we'll figure it out by Friday, and give them a little taste of what we do, which is why I need the band. So we need to do a little something up here to give them a taste of what the celebration feels like. So join us this Friday at 6:30. See, we can play that. Heck yeah. Yeah, we can go back to, that sounds good. Yeah, we can go back to that one. That's good. Friday, September 16th, the Columbia Operatic Laboratory is coming back. At 7 o'clock, they're going to do a Pirates of Penzance sing-along. So I'm excited about that. So come. And Michael, give us a preview.
You want me? Well, okay. Here's the Penzance. Apprentice to a pirate. When I was supposed to be apprentice to a pilot.
But isn't that the modern Major General one?
There is, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Wanted me to do that? Okay.
And so
That's
does
okay.
his sisters and his cousins and his aunts,
Okay.
right?
No, I don't know. I don't know Pirates of Penzance.
Portrait of the modern Major General.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
And
Okay.
it's about a guy who, and a crew who, they're nice pirates
Oh,
because
okay.
they won't
Yeah.
attack orphans. So if everybody says they're orphans on the ship, they'll say,
Oh.
"Oh, here, have some of our treasure. You're orphans."
Who knew? All right. So I'm looking forward to that even more now. So, yeah. So come September 16th. That'll be Friday at 7 p.m. Coming up at the first weekend, I think it's August 6th or heck, I don't know. Somebody, there's a little thing over there. August 5th. Okay, August 5th and 6th, Spiritual Fusions is coming back to Columbia, and they'll be at the convention center. There are some cards over there advertising it. So please pick some of those up and invite people and tell people about this thing. It was great last time. Lee and I went, and Julie and Beth. Yeah, Justin had a booth there. He doing some readings, and it was great. So it's a wonderful event. These are our people out there. So at 3 o'clock on Saturday, I will be doing a workshop. If any of y'all came to the Awaken workshop, I know a few of you did. I'm going to actually do a 45-minute version of it. We did it in 4 hours. I'm going to have to condense it to like 45 minutes. But I think I'm going to use it as a teaser for like another workshop, to set up another workshop and go, look, if you want to learn more, here's another workshop. So that's in the works. So I will be there August 5th at 3 o'clock doing my little 45-minute thing. So join us for that and go to it. It is a great thing. I think it's only like a $5 admission or something, but it's really good. You'll meet a lot of fantastic people. All right, and then Sunday School at 10:30 every Sunday. Course in Miracles group Wednesdays at 7:30. All right, and we do have a Zoom link for that, and that is the correct one. I've had to go back and make sure we have the right Zoom link, and that one is right. So join us Wednesday nights at 7:30. All right. Hear these wise and holy words from this wise and holy woman.
We got to get a signal or something.
I know,
so
yeah.
yeah.
Hand signals.
From the Jesus story, Luke 9:57 through 62. As they were going along the road, someone said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." And Jesus said to him, "Foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." To another he said, "Follow me." But he said, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." But Jesus said to him, "Let the dead bury their own dead, but as for you, go and proclaim the kingdom of God." Another said, "I will follow you, Lord, but let me first say farewell to those at my home." Jesus said to him, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God." From the letters of the Apostle Paul, Galatians 5:1-13 through 18 and 25. For freedom Christ has set us free. For you were called to freedom, brothers and sisters. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for self-indulgence, but through love become slaves to one another. For the whole law is summed up in a single commandment: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. If, however, you bite and devour one another, take care that you are not consumed by one another. Live by the Spirit, I say, and do not gratify the desires of the flesh. For what the flesh desires is opposed to the Spirit, and what the Spirit desires is opposed to the flesh. For these are opposed to each other to prevent you from doing what you want. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not subject to the law. If we live by the Spirit, let us also be guided by the Spirit. And from A Course in Miracles, chapter 18. You who have spent your life in bringing truth to illusion, reality to fantasy, have walked the way of dreams. For you have gone from waking to sleeping, and on to yet deeper sleep. Your goal was darkness in which no ray of light could enter. You have been willing to bring the darkness to light, and this willingness has given strength to everyone who would remain in darkness. Those who would see will see, and they will join with me in carrying their light into the darkness, when the darkness in them is offered to the light and is removed forever. You who are now the bringer of salvation have the function of bringing light to darkness. The darkness in you has been brought to light. Carry it back to darkness from the holy instant to which you brought it. We are made whole in our desire to make whole.
These are wise and holy words. Thanks be to the holy. All creation is holy word. All creation speaks volumes of the holy. Hallelujah. In this time of prayer and contemplation, I invite you to think about the words that Jesus said, not in this passage. Why would I bring that up? That we are to bring our light to the world. We are the light bringers. Jesus once said that when he left bodily, that there would be a remnant. A remnant. He didn't say everybody's going to get it. And here in this one it says, in A Course in Miracles, it says, those who would see will see. There will always be a remnant that will see, and there will be a majority that won't. And our task is not to make them see. It is to see so deeply within ourselves that they can't not see it in themselves. I mean, you've encountered people in your life who, when you just walk into their presence, it's like you can breathe. You know, it's like they just have this demeanor of just calm. People talk about the Dalai Lama, that when you come into the presence of the Dalai Lama, it's like, or the Pope, it's just, you know you are in a place of peace. You're in a place of love and joy. It just fills you. And jubilance, that's what we're called to become. We're not out there preaching to the choir or to the we're not out there to save the lost. Because we are the lost. We all are. We're here to go within and go within so completely and so deeply that when we walk out into the world, we become that place of peace. We walk through crowds and people don't know why they suddenly feel better, but they do. Just because we are living so fully from that higher divine self that we can't be anything but peace. We have no grievance anymore. We have no need to judge. We have no need to save anybody because we know just the loving presence through us can do it all. And so that's what we're called to cultivate. To be the remnant. To be the remnant that does see, that understands. We are here for one another because we are all one another. breathe deeply. All right, our song this morning comes from singer and songwriter Jubilee. The song is called Hands, and it comes from her 1998 release, Spirit. 2, 3, 4. Trying to find it. That doesn't sound like it. I know. If I could tell the world just one thing, it would be we're all okay. Not to worry, 'cause worry is wasteful and useless in times like these. I won't be made useless, won't be idle with despair. Gather myself around my faith, the light is the darkness most fear. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. But they're not yours, they are my own, and I am never broken. Everybody, my hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. But they're not yours, they are my own, and I'm never broken. When Arno Michaelis was 17 years old, he was a high school dropout. He was living on ramen noodles most of the week. Every payday, however, he would pop into a local McDonald's and buy his favorite food of all time, a Big Mac. Arno was a very angry young man, and he would go on to be the founding member of one of the largest racist skinhead organizations in the whole world. Anger, he says, was his fuel, and the skinhead ideology attracted him mainly because it pissed people off. He said his goal was to repulse people, to buck what he saw as the status quo of multiculturalism that was encroaching on the majority white population. And of course, he enjoyed fighting. But on payday, he was just like everybody else, hungry. And at the McDonald's that he frequented, there was this older black woman who worked the counter every single time he went in for his weekly Mac attack. He described the woman's smile as being as warm and unconditional as the sun. Just like the sun, he says. That smile didn't care what color your skin was. If you were a white power skinhead, a gangbanger, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, it would shine for everyone, he said. And then he added, that smile made me really uncomfortable. I'm trying to hate black people. And here is this sweet old woman smiling at me, making it seem as stupid as it is. I would get my food and scurry out of there. And it wouldn't be Arno's last encounter with that woman. The next time he saw her, he says, her smile was just as radiant. And she remembered his order and his name, which again, Arno said, made him very uncomfortable. That week, though, sticks out for Arno. And that week, he says, was the trip that he made to get his Big Mac after he had added a swastika tattoo to his middle finger. He said he did it so he could flash the Nazi symbol before balling up his fist to hit somebody. And as he approached the McDonald's that week, he hesitated. He didn't want the woman to see his new tattoo because he felt ashamed. And so he decided that he would keep his hand in his pocket, but he slipped up, and the woman saw the tattoo, and she looked at him and said, "You're a better person than that. I know that's not who you are." Arno said he never stepped foot in that McDonald's again. The meeting of Arno and this woman shows the choice we all have in who we serve in this world. Do we serve the ego's idea of freedom? Your ego says, hey, you got the freedom to be a racist. You got the freedom to put a Nazi insignia on your middle finger. You got that right. Do we serve the idea that we have to do battle with others in this world to keep our sense of superiority or security? Or will we follow love's path of freedom that calls us to remain defenseless? Like this woman, like this cashier at McDonald's, she only used a smile and compassion as her weapons in the world. You have spent your life in bringing truth to illusion, reality to fantasy, have walked in the way of dreams, says A Course in Miracles. Your goal was darkness, in which no ray of light could enter. It's clear Arno's goal, his stated goal, was darkness. He was pretty open about that. But A Course in Miracles would tell us that the goal of even we well-meaning and seemingly loving people, our goal is darkness too, because the light beckons us to be just like that woman at McDonald's, shining our light unconditionally, even upon racist skinheads with a love of Big Macs. But we resist. We like to think we're enlightened, but we run from the truth and reality when we follow the ego's idea of separation in this world. And that leads to more division, more strife, more anger and envy or jealousy. And we all jubilants, we all have these demons, even if they're not as prominent as those who believe as Arno did. But we make a choice, not just every day, but every moment we make a choice of what we are serving. Are we serving love or are we serving fear? How do we know? How do we know which one we're serving? Well, the Apostle Paul gives us a few hints in his letter to the early Christians in Galatia. He says, the works of the flesh are obvious. He's got a whole list here. Fornication, impurity, licentiousness, idolatry, sorcery, enmity, strife, jealousy, anger, quarrels, dissensions, factions, envy, drunkenness, carousing, and things like this, Paul told them. And as we listen to the list, our thoughts turn to all the people we know who do those things. Most of them probably work in Washington, D.C. But you want to know who you're serving right now when you're thinking about all those other people? You're serving fear. You're serving the ego. Because the ego loves to think about how other people are doing all those bad things. And this, Paul says, is where we begin to bite and devour one another. Because we can always think about others who are behaving badly, but have we examined our own lives for, quote, works of the flesh, as Paul says? And let's clear up a word for a second here. The word sarx is used for flesh. The Greek word is sarx, and it's not something lurid. Because when we think of works of the flesh, we think about lurid things, but sarx is just our bodily selves. It's just our ego-driven flesh suit that we walk around in it. And make no mistake, every ego in this room loves to bite and devour everybody else's ego. Spend 5 minutes on Facebook, you're going to see a lot of cannibals on the loose. Everybody biting and devouring. I mean, at Facebook, that's where I really began to recognize my own penchant for biting and devouring others, indulging in works of the flesh. Here on Facebook, any social media, I can feel all superior and snarky. I can call out others for their actions and beliefs. I can call them names. I can feel pretty justified in doing all of that. Strife, anger, quarrels, factions, dissensions, all works of the flesh. And I have personally enjoyed every single one of them on Facebook. And often in real life. All in service to the ego. But I suspect I'm not alone. But that's what the ego calls freedom. I am free to say whatever I want. Because who are you to tell me? Who are you to tell me what I can't and cannot do on Facebook or out in the world? I'm free. I'm free to do what I want, and so we are. But as Paul says, that kind of freedom has a cost. This is where the ego's laws of cause and effect come into play. When we miscreate in the world, by following the ego's penchant for strife and anger and separation, which is the cause, the effect is immediate. we are in hell. We're like Arno standing at the McDonald's counter, confronted with the hell of hatred he has created for himself, all because of a gentle smile on the black face in front of him. But there is hope. There is hope for us jubilants. In any moment, if we are the least bit willing, we can have a miracle. We can have our perspective changed and stop serving this false idea of freedom, and instead we can serve love. This jubilance is true cause and effect with a capital C and a capital E, and there's no law against it. The true cause is always holy, and whenever we act from that cause, the effects are always, as Paul lists, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These are the works of the Spirit. And in these works we find true freedom. The ego's voice, though, it always speaks first. It always speaks loudest. Learning to hear the Spirit takes practice. And it often comes to us in disguise. Sometimes as good friends who call you out on your egoic action, and sometimes maybe even a gentle, radiant, smiling fast food worker. Breathe deeply. 2, 3, 4. Poverty stole your golden shoes, didn't steal your laughter. Heartache came to visit me, but I knew it wasn't ever after. We'll fight, not out of spite, 'cause someone must stand up for what's right. 'Cause when there's a man who has no voice, there I shall go singing. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. But they're not yours, they are my own, and I am never broken. Let's sing it again. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. But they're not yours, they are my own, and I am never broken. It would be another 6 years after his encounter with the McDonald's worker before Arno Michaelis renounced his white supremacist beliefs and started an organization designed to help others leave behind their lives based on racism. He said his change of heart and mind came gradually, but he realized that when he became a single dad at the age of 24, that the violent life he was leading might eventually take him away from his daughter. So while the radiant smile of the McDonald's worker may have planted a seed, it was the thought of not being in his own daughter's life that made him finally willing to, as the Course says, bring his darkness to the light. And in our Jesus story, we find our guy doing for the people around him exactly what that McDonald's lady did for Arno. He's planting seeds. Arno recognized the light of love in that woman despite the hated skin color, just as people in Jesus' day recognized the light that shone from him. They wanted to follow that light. They wanted to bring their darkness to it, to be healed by it. But in the end, they couldn't decide who they were going to serve. Are they going to serve the ego or the holy? And each made their excuses. They were all good ones to just not fully commit to serving love. But make no mistake, the ego will always come up with a really good excuse to keep you in its service. We can identify with Jesus' potential followers. I mean, how many times have we put off our spiritual pursuits because, I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to separate from my families. I've got important things to do. I got to go bury my dead or my loved ones. I got more things. I can't do spirituality right now. And the ego says all these things are important, and we agree. But before we get too harsh on ourselves and those who approached Jesus back in the day, we have to remember where Jesus was going when all those people suddenly wanted to follow him. Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem. He was making his final journey on this earthly life to a place where he was going to face being arrested, put on trial, and put to death. So can you blame folks for maybe thinking twice about following this guy? But this is what the Holy beckons us to do, to follow love to the place of crucifixion, where at last the ego's grip on us can be overcome. Following the Holy, it's not always rainbows and kittens. It's hard work to live out the gifts of the Spirit that Paul lists for us: love and joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. When the ego-driven world is using all of its power to destroy our faith in the efficacy of all of those. It's hard to plant seeds of kindness and love when the soil of our culture is hardened by tribalism and separatist tendencies. It is, however, our calling, Jubilants, to bring our darkness to the light. And when the holy light has shined away our ego, even if just for a moment, we're to go back in the world and shine that light into every dark corner we see. And that is what Arno Michaelis is doing in the world. He's now bringing his light after having the darkness of racism and hatred consumed by the light of love. And he's doing that. He has been doing that, and these guys wrote a book together, a man named Pardeep Kaleka, whose father was among 6 people killed in August 2012 when a man named Wade Michael Page entered a Sikh temple and opened fire. You remember that? Among all of the shootings. But Page had been a member of a racist skinhead group that Arno had helped to found. Arno helped this guy come into his beliefs that resulted in so many deaths. But Pardeep didn't care. He reached out to Arno. And together, they worked together for many years to shine their collective light into the egoic darkness of our world through an organization they started called Serve to Unite. Together, they brought their darkness to the light. One out of the darkness of hatred and white supremacy, the other out of the darkness of a deep grief. In that action, they healed one another together because, as the Course says, we are made whole in our desire to make whole. And this, Jubilance, is how the healing of the world happens, when we bring our darkness to the light. Whatever light we see that awakens within us the willingness to live differently, to see the world differently, and embody in both word and deed that, oh yeah, that the light evokes within us. But the question is still there. Are you willing to follow Jesus to Jerusalem, where your ego could face its demise? If you are, then you, along with your ego, will be healed and resurrected as a light of love to shine brightly in the world. Many of those lights have already been resurrected in this world. They are all around us. Be on the lookout for them, because they are saying, oh, the humanity with joy. These people come in many forms. They may even be a little black lady who serves you Big Macs and serves Big Macs to all the racists who walk into McDonald's. And maybe that light might come back even as you. Oh yeah. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. But they're not yours, they are my own, and I'm never broken. In the end, only kindness matters. In the end, only kindness matters. I will get down on my knees and I will pray. I will get down on my knees and I will pray. me down on my knees, and I will pray. My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. But they're not yours, they are my own, and I am never broken. Everybody, my hands are small, I know, but they're not yours, they are my own. But they're not yours, they are my own, and I am never broken. We are never broken. We are God's eyes, God's hands, God's heart. We are God's eyes, God's hands, God's heart. Oh yeah. Right. To be God's eyes, God's heart, God's hands in this world requires help. It requires a community. It really does require all of us putting ourselves together as that remnant, as that community that seeks to be the light in the world. And Jubilee Circle has been that community for 12 years, y'all. We're going on our 13th year. Yeah, in January it'll be 13 years. Wow. I was young back then. Getting old ain't for sissies, that's all I'm saying. You've never been young, Keith, right? Never been young. But it does take everybody working together, no matter what it is that you can give, whether it's your time or your talent or your money or your prayers or your thoughts or your presence. All of it matters. Because in the end, only kindness matters, right? In the end. And that's what we're creating here in this community. And if you want to create more kindness in the world, we ask for your help, for your support, to be part of that community and to grow that light and that kindness. Because if we are the remnant of kindness, eventually, kindness will rule out. I believe it to be true. So please give generously here in the building, give generously there online. You can go to jubileecircle.com. There is a donate link, and it will take you to a page where you can go to Venmo or PayPal, or you can write a check to Jubilee Circle, P.O. Box 4611, Columbia, South Carolina, 29240. I'm going to have everybody memorize that, right? So we can all say it together. And you're also welcome to, send cards and send me little love notes, whatever you'd like to do, because I check the mailbox. So all right. So thank you, everybody, for joining us here online. We are going to say adios to you, and hopefully same time next week, same bat channel, same bat time. We'll be here on the YouTube. So join us again then. And remember, if the only prayer you ever say your entire life is thank you, it will be enough, because gratitude is the thing that really makes the world go round. We don't think it's money, but it ain't. It's you saying thank you over and over and over again, no matter what the outer circumstances look like. And so we say, thank you. And we say, oh yeah. We'll see y'all next time.